Hey friends, this video is a couple days late, but better late than never. This past week we lost a giant in music. Now maybe you've never heard of him, but you definitely heard him. We lost the legendary drummer and session musician, key member of the Wrecking Crew, those team of geniuses that made all those great recordings in the 60s and 70s that came out of LA. We lost the great Hal Blaine. The last couple days, honestly, with that was just another downer after Peter Tork and now Hal Blaine. Hal Blaine played on so many recordings, but too many to even mention, but you heard him. All the great Phil Spector records by the Ronettes and the Crystals, the Righteous Brothers, that's him on drums. Brian Wilson started to use him on the Beach Boys stuff, especially on I Get Around, and especially on Pet Sounds, especially California Girls, all those great tracks. A lot of Monkey stuff you heard him on. The Byrds and Mr. Tambourine Man. Roger McGuinn's Rickenbacker 12-string was the only thing on there that a Byrd played. Everything else was Leon Russell on electric piano, Larry Knachtel on bass, and of course Hal Blaine on drums. A lot of the great stuff by the Association, the Mamas and the Papas, Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, Frank Sinatra, Strangers in the Night, that's him on drums. Dean Martin, Everybody Loves Somebody. The Carpenters, Captain and Tennille, Love Will Keep Us Together. That's him on drums. MacArthur Park. You need to look it up. He's played on so many hits. He's got so many gold and platinum records. The man was what I aspired to be when I decided I wanted to be a musician. It was never to be famous. It was never to get the limos. It was to be reliable and be told, hey, we need this guy right here to play drums. And my goal was to be a studio musician. Unfortunately, studio musicians are pretty much no more. Hal, I had the great pleasure of hearing him speak. And he's got so many stories about those days, about the Spector sessions and the Brian Wilson sessions with the Beach Boys, the Jan and Dean sessions. He's got stories about all of it. He knew Frank Sinatra never liked distractions, and he never liked to do more than one take of a song. So he made sure that his drums were oiled and everything was nice and tight, so there were no squeaks on his drums during a take. Because Sinatra would be like, let's get the next guy. Don't want him anymore. He's got so many stories. So I had the pleasure of hearing him speak at the Fest for Beatle fans when it came to Los Angeles in 2014. I actually got to meet him and speak with him briefly. He was a hero of mine. I love the way he played. I could know him. He's got such a loose sound, but still focusing on a backbeat. And why did they use these studio guys when a lot of these bands were capable of playing themselves? Well, in a recent interview I read, he said a lot of it was economics. We could get in there and do one or two takes of a song, and boom, we're done. And of course, he said that Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys never complained. He liked to go surfing and chase girls and live the lifestyle. And in fact, Dennis Wilson used Hal Blaine on his Pacific Ocean Blue solo album. So Hal Blaine, an incredible musician. Incredible man, this is another tough loss. Another tough loss. Last couple days I was just playing music of bands that had him playing on it. So dig out some of those mamas and papas and stuff. You're gonna hear him play. So that's my take on that. Thank you very much. I know I have been kind of lax on getting some videos up. I got some new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to me. I usually talk about my passions of the Beatles, music, and movies, and physical media. Sorry, my 5-year-old son is out there acting goofy. So, but yeah, Beatles, music, movies, physical media, sometimes musical theater. But I appreciate my new subscribers, and I appreciate everybody sticking with me. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for some new videos soon. Bye-bye.